Hey, it's Walter Van Dusen with Jim from NiSi. We are at the 50th anniversary Bild Expo in New York City. Both Jim and I, Jim most likely would do the same thing, like to thank B&H for being in business for 50 years. I met Jim at the Cine Expo LA, and I got to take a Lime scooter to the headquarters where they gave me a really good overview of the NiSi True Color filters, which I ended up purchasing the whole shebang. So all my filter system is now NiSi, but they also have a new cinema line, semi-new cinema line that's been out for a few months now. And we're going to, Jim's going to talk about that, but he's going to introduce himself. But I just want to say I'm Walter, and if you like this type of content, hanging out with Jim at trade shows and other people, like and subscribe. But this is why we come here, is to get some hands-on experience. We have 3 cameras, 2 or 3 cameras. Yep, 3 cameras using the new NiSi filters, which we have.
NiSi lenses.
NiSi lenses, not NiSi filters. Walter owns NiSi filters. Walter does not own NiSi lenses. So
He will soon enough.
Thank you, Jim.
You got it. All right, well, thank you. First of all, it's so cool to be here in New York City, my hometown, celebrating the 50th anniversary of B&H being in business. B&H is a phenomenal store. I've done a lot of business with them over the years, both as a supplier to them, also as a customer of theirs. So Sam and company, congratulations. Our NiSi ATHENA lenses, which we were only really introducing at Cinegear when I met Walter about 4 or 5 months ago, have really exploded. They've really taken off dramatically. They have proven out to be exactly what they were designed to be, which is a set of lenses from 14 millimeter to 85 millimeter, all with the same weight and configuration of controls, so that if you're using any sort of a rig or gimbal, you could swap out lenses and not have to rebalance your rigs. But on top of that, they've proven out to be phenomenal optically. They have excellent optical attributes. They are sharp, they are neutral, they have virtually no focus breathing, they have almost no chromatic aberration. The bokeh is beautiful, there's no onion skinning or donuting on the bokeh. And the lenses are ideal for any sort of production use, from on a movie set down to whether you're a wedding photographer or a commercial photographer, cinematographer, I should say. The lenses are very reasonably priced. The average price of a lens is $1,100, with the only exception being the 14 millimeter lens, which is $1,200. There is also a kit of lenses, all 5 lenses in a custom kit for $5,400. But I'm warning you guys right now, that price will likely be going up after the end of the year. So if it's something you think you want to get, I would jump on it right away. That's primarily what I have to say about them. They come in PL mount. They're also in Sony E mount and Canon RF mount. They all use 77 millimeter on the front of the lenses except for the 14. They all use rear lenses. The PLs use rear screw-in filters, and the RF and the E mount use rear drop-in filters. It's a little noisy here. Hopefully I'm not sounding like a knucklehead here, but I just want you to know that the lenses are absolutely proven, and you could look at reviews online and see what professional DPs and assistant cameramen are saying about them. They're phenomenal. You'll enjoy using them. You'll use them for years, and you'll use them everywhere. I'm going to give you a tour of the lenses. We're going to start with the 14 millimeter. It's a 14 millimeter ultra-wide cinema lens. Very highly corrected, rectilinear, sharp from edge to edge. As a matter of fact, this is the lens right here. So if that's running, you're going to see that effect. Very sharp. Depending on the mount that you get, it'll either have a rear drop-in filter, or the PL mounts will have rear screw-in filters. This lens is the only lens that doesn't have a front thread. You have an 80 millimeter diameter, so you can use a matte box, but you also have rear filters and you can of course use a matte box.
Very hot. This is gonna be a really good video, to be honest. I like the video so far.
Okay.
Good.
Okay. All right, so this is our 25 millimeter. It's a moderate wide angle lens. I happened to pick up a PL mount this time because the PL mount is universal. Now I said that all of our lenses have rear filters, so the PL mounts have rear screw-in filters, not drop-in filters. It also has a 77 millimeter front. This also begins the lens that has a T1.9 stop. At this point, from 25 up to all the other lenses I'm going to show you are all T1.9. Very highly corrected, no focus breathing, extremely sharp, extremely neutral, and it's a great lens. Oh, I will mention that all of our lenses are full frame, but they also have a 46 millimeter circle of illumination, so they can actually be used on VistaVision sensors as well without any problem. Again, optimized for full frame, but can be used for crop sensor or can be used for full frame as well.
You and I worked together before, so I'm happy. Because you know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
We're still rolling.
Okay. So now I've got a 35 millimeter. This is a very widely used lens in the industry. It's a very moderate wide angle. It's a perfect interview lens because it gives the same perspective as if you're sitting down and looking at someone across the table. This happens to be in the Canon RF mount, which is very useful because Red has just gone to standardize in the RF mount on their cameras. So now you can have a direct fit lens with a drop-in rear filter. The benefit of the drop-in rear filters is that you can change filters while the camera's on the lens. And also, because it's drop-in, we can gear it and we'll be able to make a variable ND filter, a polarizing filter, and a streak filter where you'll be able to rotate the filter while it's in the lens itself. Again, a 77 millimeter front, 80 millimeter diameter for a matte box. That's that lens. On to the next. So now I'm holding the 50 millimeter lens. Again, one of the standards in the industry. This lens, even though it's considered a normal lens with a normal perspective, it's actually more of a close-up lens for headshots. This is a good lens for interviews, for headshots. It's a 50 millimeter, it's more or less a normal lens, but because it's got a little more telephoto, it's actually more for like talking heads and such. It gives a nice bokeh when you've got out of focus behind it, as you can see on the B-roll. And I've gone back to the PL mount to again show you that you've got a rear-mounted screw-in filter. We're going to have a range of ND filters and mist filters that are going to screw into this. The PL mount is nice because it's universal, and NiSi is about to introduce our own PL adapters for L Leica, for DJI, for Sony in case you want to, buy a PL but you want to fit it on a Sony, RF in case you want to do a Canon lens but you want the universal aspect of a PL lens. NiSi is really looking to anticipate whatever a filmmaker might need and bring it to market so that everything works together. So now I've got the 85 millimeter, which is a short telephoto lens. For taking headshots, for portraits, for slightly distant work, if you're doing like an event or you're doing like a speaker up on a podium. Again, all the great qualities of the rest of the lenses, the same weight as all the other lenses. If you're running with a gimbal and you need to change lenses out for different reasons, all of our lenses will interchange without you having to rebalance them on a gimbal. So this is the 85 telephoto. Beautiful bokeh behind it, beautiful out of focus characteristics behind it, tremendous lens. And the most important thing is all 5 lenses are available either individually or as a kit. In a kit, currently, it's $5,400 for all 5 lenses. That's an incredibly good price for a lens that actually is comparable to lenses that cost 4 to 5 times the price of it. Now, in closing, I'll say about these 5 lenses, they're an ideal range, but we will be expanding the line and there will be additional lenses available soon. We know that we're already coming out with an 18 millimeter, and we're already coming out with a 135 millimeter. So look for those roughly about December or January coming up in the year 23 to 24. So I'm going to wrap it up by saying we're at Bild, we're at B&H's 50th anniversary. Congratulations to B&H. It's busy, it's noisy, it's hectic. I have no idea what I just said to you, but hopefully it sounds reasonably good and they can fix it in post. Take care, bye-bye.
Thank you, Jim, once again. Well, at least you know, hopefully know that I have your best interest, right?
You're a good guy.